Welcome to our presentation titled The Effect of Dark Patterns in User Knowledge on User Experience and Decision Making, presented at the 2024 Persuasive Technology Conference in Wollongong, Australia on 12th of April 2024. This presentation mirrors the organization of the original paper as shown. What are dark patterns? Are they shadows appearing on the inner walls of an apartment or black patterns on the outside walls of a building such as those on York University's iconic Bergeron building? No, dark patterns are more than shadows or designs on a wall. Rather, dark patterns are deceptive interfaces in an application or website intentionally crafted by designers to make users perform actions that they would not do otherwise or actions that are in the best interest of the online vendor. An example is being asked to sign up by providing your email address before accessing a one-time service. Another example is using the principle of scarcity, one of Cialdini's principles of persuasion, to falsely create a sense of scarcity to make users perform a certain behavior, such as booking a hotel room right away. Known as deceptive designs, dark patterns have become pervasive in the online environment, from e-commerce websites to social media, from streaming platforms to gaming platforms. Dark patterns have become so pervasive in the online environment that one is forced to ask the question, what is fueling the prevalence of dark patterns in the online environment? The answer to the question is not far-fetched. Financial incentive, particularly the cent in the incentive, which has led both small and big online companies such as Amazon, Facebook, and Netflix to deploy them on their platforms as part of their aggressive marketing strategies, quote and unquote, to increase profitability. But then, what is the operational mechanism of dark patterns that make them effective to the advantage of online platforms? Dark patterns leverage human cognitive limitation, bias, and information overload to make users do what may not be in their best interest or they would not ordinarily do. Research shows that dark patterns can affect users in several ways, resulting in users expending finite cognitive resources, wasting precious time and effort, losing privacy, autonomy, and money. Some work on the prevalence of dark patterns has been done in existing literature. Prime among them is Matter et al.'s 2011 study, in which the authors performed an analysis of approximately 53,000 product pages from 11,000 e-commerce websites to identify the types of dark patterns used by these websites. They found approximately 18,000 dark pattern instances in 11% of the websites, which were classified into 15 types and 7 categories, including sneaking, urgency, misdirection, scarcity, and social proof. Similarly, Ganawan et al. Conducted a study in which they compared dark patterns in 105 popular services across 3 different modalities: mobile apps, mobile browsers, and web browsers. They found over 2,300 instances of dark patterns across all of the services, with roughly 1/3 of the dark patterns belonging to each of the 3 modalities. In particular, they found that no consent checkbox for terms of service or privacy policy was the most prevalent, with 2/3 of the analyzed services using it across all 3 modalities. They also found that 50% and 5% of the services across each modality used forced action and sneak into basket, respectively. While there are a substantial number of studies, research on the adverse impact of dark patterns on users is limited. As such, critics often view them as cases of aggressive marketing. Although several studies have identified and classified dark patterns, few have examined their effect on user experience, or UX, and vendor perception, and so our study addresses this, with a focus on 2 commonly used dark patterns in the online environment: confirm shaming and trick question. Confirm shaming uses careful wording to guilt users into making the choice intended by the service. Similarly, trick question obscures the meaning of a question to make users opt for the service's intended choice. The aim of our study is to uncover, using an experimental design, the effect of these dark patterns and user knowledge on user experience, decision-making, and website reputation. Our experimental design comprises 3 conditions: confirm shaming, trick question, and control. The confirm shaming condition attempts to guilt shame the user to selecting the expensive plan. The trick question condition words the sign-up question in a way that can trick the user to sign up for the expensive plan. The control condition uses plain language that neither guilt shames nor tricks the user to sign up for the expensive plan. Only one of these conditions was assigned to each participant. Prior to taking the study, participants were asked to consider the scenario shown. They were told to assume it was a holiday season and they were looking for a video streaming service to sign up for and watch their favorite movies at their leisure time. They were asked to assume that they had a budget of $15 to $20 per month. After interacting with one of the 3 conditions by selecting a plan, the participant was redirected to a confirmation page where they could confirm their selection or go back to the previous page and edit their choice before creating an account. After completing the task, they were given a link to a follow-up questionnaire on a perceived UX and vendor reputation. For the website reputation, we employed a 3x2x2x2 mixed design with the reputation measure repeated across perceived non-manipulation, perceived trust, and perceived credibility. Similarly, for the UX, we employed a 3x2x3 mixed design with the UX measure repeated across perceived ease of use and perceived persuasiveness. Finally, for the decision-making variable, we employed a 2x2 or 3x2 between group design as shown. The study comprises 3 dependent variables, namely UX, website reputation, and decision-making. Kindly see the paper for the instruments measuring each of the UX and reputation variables. Selected plan, elicited from user interaction, comprises 2 choices: the premium expensive plan and the standard cheap plan. Edited plan entails whether the user edited their selected plan or not. The study was submitted to and approved by York University's Ethics Board, after which it was posted on Amazon Mechanical Turk for Canadian residents to take part. 212 Canadian residents participated in this study. Each participant was remunerated by $4 Canadian. After data cleaning, we were left with 192 participants for data analysis. The mean age of the participants was 36, 71% were males, and 67% were at least college graduates. Shown are corresponding data analyses carried out for each of the variables. RM ANOVA was used to analyze the website reputation and UX data, while chi-square test was used to analyze the data relating to selected plan or edited plan. The results of the 3-way RM ANOVA show that there are 2 interactions: condition and reputation on one hand, and condition and knowledge on the other hand. Similarly, regarding the 4-way RM ANOVA, there are 2 interactions: condition and knowledge, as well as between UX and selected plan. Finally, regarding decision-making, there is an interaction between knowledge and selected plan, as well as between edited choice and selected plan. As said before, there was an interaction between condition and reputation, which resulted in a further 1-way ANOVA at each level of either variable. For perceived non-manipulation, the control is rated significantly higher than the conditions with dark patterns. However, the 3 conditions do not significantly differ regarding perceived trust or credibility. For the control condition, there is no significant difference between the 3 reputation measures. However, for the conditions with dark patterns, perceived trust and credibility are significantly rated higher than the perceived non-manipulation. This suggests that users' perceived manipulation did not affect their perceived trust and credibility of the website. One plausible explanation is that users have become used to dark patterns in the online environment, such that users now consider them the norm. Overall, Those with knowledge rated the website reputation lower than those without knowledge, with the difference between both knowledge groups regarding confirmed shaming being significant at p less than 0.001. This is an indication that those with knowledge are more likely to view websites that use dark patterns as having bad reputation than those without knowledge. The results also indicate that regardless of knowledge group, the perceived reputation of the control condition is significantly rated higher than that of the trick question condition. For example, while the perceived reputation among those with knowledge is 4.69, that of trick question is 3.96. In other words, with the data normalized, those with knowledge perceive the control and trick question conditions reputation as positive and negative, respectively. Similar to reputation, regarding confirmed shaming, those with knowledge rated the website UX significantly lower than those without knowledge at p less than 0.05. However, there is no significant difference between the two knowledge groups regarding the control and trick question conditions as the p-value is greater than 0.05. This is an indication that those with knowledge are more likely to view websites that use dark patterns such as confirmed shaming as fostering a bad user experience than those without knowledge. Moreover, among those without knowledge, trick question is perceived as providing a worse UX than confirmed shaming. However, among those with knowledge, there is no significant difference between the perceived UX of confirmed shaming and that of trick question, as both are perceived as relatively low as that of trick question among those without knowledge. Overall, perceived ease of use, regardless the selected plan, is rated higher than the perceived persuasiveness of the website, with the difference between ease of use and persuasiveness being more pronounced in the standard group. While there is no significant difference between the perceived ease of use of those that selected the standard plan and those that selected the premium plan, there is a significant difference between both groups with regard to perceived persuasiveness at p less than 0.001, with the premium group stating that the deployed dark patterns persuaded them to select the premium plan over the standard group. However, as illustrated in the line graph, those that selected the premium plan are less likely to agree that the deployed dark patterns persuaded them to make the vendor-intended decisions than the non-compliant standard-based users are likely to disagree. The chi-square results show that there is no association between condition and selected plan. In other words, regardless of condition, the difference between those that selected the expensive plan and those that selected the cheap plan is not significant, although the proportions of those who selected the expensive plan in the two treatment conditions, 58% and 61%, are numerically greater than those in the control condition, 52%. That said, our chi-square test analysis shows that there is an association between knowledge and selected plan regarding the confirmed shaming condition, with those without knowledge at 68% being more likely to select the premium plan than those with knowledge at 35%. However, there is no association between knowledge and selected plan regarding the trick question and control conditions. Overall, those who edited their plan are more likely to select the cheaper plan. As shown, 69% of those who edited their choice selected the cheaper plan, compared with 37% of those who did not edit their choice that chose the cheaper plan. Overall, the users in the trick question are more likely to edit their choice of plan than users in the control and confirm shaming conditions, as 40% of knowledgeable users in the trick question condition edited their initial choice, compared with 11% and 6% in the confirm shaming and control conditions respectively. Regarding trick question, those with knowledge are more likely to edit their plan than those without knowledge. Specifically, 50% of those with knowledge edited their plan compared to 33% of those without knowledge. Although, in the confirm shaming condition, those with knowledge are more likely to edit their choice than those without knowledge, 15% versus 9%, the group difference is not statistically significant. The main takeaways of our study include the following. First, users perceive dark patterns as manipulative, but this perception does not go as far as affecting the perceived reputation of the website. Trick question is more likely to lead to users' review of choice than confirm shaming. Users who selected the vendor's intended choice are less likely to agree that the deployed dark patterns persuaded them to do so than non-compliant users are likely to disagree. Users without knowledge are more likely to be vulnerable to the vendor-promoted behavior. Confirmed shaming is more potent among users without knowledge than those with knowledge. And finally, the findings highlight the need to raise awareness about dark patterns so that unsuspecting users are less likely to make decisions that are to their disadvantage. Our work has limitations which may impact the generalizability of the findings, especially to populations other than Canadian residents. The study was not done in a controlled setting, which must have introduced extraneous variables that were not controlled for example, distractions. Another limitation is that only a subset of the data was analyzed. This prevented us from knowing the role other variables such as gender, age, and education play. In future work, we aim to bridge these gaps. In addition, we will extend the study to domains other than video streaming websites and explore the role the price difference between users' choices plays in users' decision making. Here are our references. Thank you for watching.